today we got to play Stellar Drift. Now, this is a roll and write game,
well,
but
it's actually a pull and write game.
You write down it on sheets of paper and you bounce around a lot, which is what's fun. All right, yeah. But before we get into it, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and that notification bell because board games are amazing, and that's what we do here at Legends of Romana. Now, Randy, can you tell us a little bit more about Stellar Drift?
I can. First, before I do that, though, check out the tree back here, because these presents will probably be gone in the future videos. The tree will probably still be there for a while, but the presents are going to be gone, because they're, I don't know if we'll shoot it. We may shoot another video tomorrow. I don't know. But it's Christmas Eve, so Merry Christmas to everybody out there who celebrates. Alright, so Stellar Drift Pull and Write, the 2024 release. Board Game Geek rating for it is 7.5, and rank is 12,073. It's a 1 to 5 player game, age 14 and up, which I really don't understand the age on that. It doesn't require 14 and up.
It does not.
This is, I mean, once you get the hang of the iconography, it's a pretty straightforward game. 30 to 45 minutes. Probably about right, depending on the people you're playing with. Designed by Brian Klein. Art is Nilanjan Malakar, and it's published by Mystic Tiger Games. Now, this is a fairly new company. I don't know if this is their first release, or I did see another title by them, but I don't know which one came out first. This one is currently not available to purchase in stores. This was a Kickstarter release. The Kickstarter, which we'll talk about when we get into quality components, what you get, but this is the VIP tier of it, and it only costs $25 for the VIP tier.
That's not bad at all.
Not for this game, it's not bad at all. And we'll show you as we get into quality of components what you get, and there's some pretty nice stuff in here for that.
All right, so let's move on. Let's move on to quality components. So every player gets a marker that lets the other players know if you are done or not. Because with roll and writes, you often are kind of playing by yourself a little bit in the sense that you're trying to build whatever. And I actually really like these. I think we need these for...
these are plastic. These are like poker chip, style, but they're octagons or hexagons.
Honestly, they're really nice. I actually want these for a lot of games.
Yeah. And these, I think, are in the retail, which is actually really nice.
Well, whatever the case, totally win. The printing quality, I think, is actually really well on these. And you have this inlaid board for your energy tracker, along with a little bit of cheat sheet for iconography. So that's pretty cool. Also in the deluxe bag, you've got this pretty bag. It is reversible.
Yeah, that was really the add-on for the VIP tier.
Well, it's actually, this is really pretty. I would totally just steal this bag because I wanted to. I love purple, and I absolutely love the galaxy thing. So that's a lot of fun. And then you also get these dice. They are unique. However, I have a habit of wanting to roll things.
Yeah, they're the same on every side. You don't need to roll them.
So, but oftentimes I did. It's not like they were going to change any, but it made me feel better, okay? So that is some reality. Overall, I'm really happy for a roll and write. This is pretty fantastic.
You get 3 big pads. I say big, they're thin, but you get 3 large pages, and you use all 3. This is my only problem with the game, is that they made these 2-sided, which is good, but there's very few of them. And the ships they have multiple different ships, which they reference different movies, TV shows, video games. This one here, for all you old people like me, is representing the Space 1999 spaceship, which I thought that's an obscure one you don't see nowadays. Mm-hmm. There's the Battlestar Galactica's in here. There's ships that look like they're from Galga.
I got a Kraken.
I think that's from Space Invaders. So there's different shapes that you can play, and they have different complexity levels. But some of the ones that have the same complexity level I found to be harder than the other ones. Some of the others that are the same level.
And then the other thing okay. So we got everyone to have one side, and then we were like, oh, let's play again. Let's flip it. Not everyone had the same ship on the other side, and so
that's the problem. Is the way it's arranged in the pad. They tell you which ships to start with for the first game, and you get them out, but they're not all together at the beginning, so you have to tear through the pad finding these starter ships if you have more than the number that are collected at the top. So it made no sense why they arranged it the way they did. But
my thing is they should be where you could just turn it over and play again.
It should be the same ship on both sides.
Correct. Well, not even the same ship, for just having it, when you flip it over, everyone has the same one.
Yeah.
Because that's really kind of annoying, because when you go to replay it, how are you going to keep track of all your mixed ships and, which side was used, which wasn't?
And if you play roll and race as much as we do, these are not going to last you very long. You're going to need to laminate these. So you use all 3 pads every game and 1 per player. So you're going to have, you're going to need to quickly, because it's probably about 50, maybe as many as 100, depending on, I don't know.
Well, and I do have some concerns, because like you said, it's a company, you can't buy it right now, so it's not like you can just rebuy it when you run out of paper. Because for $25, sure, whatever, maybe you go rebuy the game, or they need where you can just buy the pads. But right now that's not an option. So if you really like this game, what are you gonna do?
Yep.
So moving on to
we've gotta
actually give it a score. So quality components for roll and write, I'm really happy with this.
For the price point too.
Well, for the price point, I can't think of anything I would add, so I'm going to give this an 8. I mean, there's just not a lot, but what is fantastic.
I probably would have gone as 9 on it for the price point if it weren't for the decision on those ships. That's really, I think it's an 8 because of that.
Yeah. All right, so moving on to the theme, I think this fits wonderful. Like, okay, you have different sections of the ship that focuses on certain things, like life support, like CPU core is what they call it, but basically technology, because it allows you to fence up your tech track, and then your reactor gives you like energy, and then your engines give you mostly victory points, right? Traveling, I guess. So I really like that aspect, and like, so you have a green part of your ship that's focused around life support, and you want to complete sections of your ship to make them habitable, because they're all in disrepair. I liked the theme. I thought it was a great...
I just don't understand how your ship got in this catastrophe. You're going through, it's like the whole ship is damaged. Every bit of it. So you have to repair as much of it as you can.
Well, you were invaded, or maybe you were in cryo. I don't know.
Yeah, I assume you were sleeping through your journey and you were awakened at the last minute when the whole ship is completely, like, falling apart, because you have to repair everything.
Right. It's fine.
Yeah. The stairs work. Stairs weren't damaged. You can walk straight through those, but yeah.
Well, I mean, maybe, I tell you what, it was actually a technology eating bug that went through your system. You finally killed them all. Now you got to do all the repair. I mean, we can make some stuff up all evening.
Yeah.
But I still like it, though.
Oh, yeah.
It totally makes sense.
Well, I love the space theme. I mean, usually you see, like, farming, or you see historic or whatever. This is the first one I've seen that's set in a space environment, and that appeals to me. So.
Well, it's space theme, and it makes sense, because you're repairing your ship, you're getting life support, you're going up these different tracks, which means something. So overall, I'm actually really happy with it. I'm probably going to give it an 8 on theme.
Yeah, it's probably where I am too. I mean, I think that it's not. I mean, it could be anything. It's layered on in a sense, but the way they layered it on makes sense, and it the repair types and having the benefits you get does tie in, and the fuel track being pure victory points. So anything you get that gives you fuel, I like that. I don't know how you're generating fuel, but again, this you got to suspend your disbelief here a little bit.
Well, that's pretty much all Star Trek movies. I mean, come on.
Yes. So yeah, I think 8's a fair score.
All right. So then moving on to the rule book.
So that's the best part of this. I mean, this is for a fairly meaty roll and write. It's not that advanced. It's not Hadrian's Wall level.
No.
But it's much more advanced than your
typical. It's more
typical...
in line with like Three Sisters.
Yeah.
Maybe Raj of the Ganges, roll and write.
Right, but the rule book is 20 pages. It has a front cover, matches the box, and the back cover is just black. And then, so it's really 18 pages. So the gameplay starts on page 5, and it goes, page 7 it tells you how to play to the end game and how the scoring goes, but then there is still more gameplay because it walks through what the iconography is for the rest of it. So there's a lot of explanation on the iconography, which a lot of that's shorthanded on either the sheets or the cheat sheet. They did an excellent job in the arrangement of the pages.
Mm-hmm. It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and it tells you basically in shorthand what everything does, but if you ever do have questions, it's really clearly displayed in here. And so it's not a hard read at all. Like I said, it's a smaller book to begin with, and it's an easy read. And then the last, like, 4 pages is solo mode. So, actually, I guess I lied. It's 2 pages, or 1 page, and then an FAQ. So yeah, it's a quick read. Matter of fact, I had started reading it when Caleb showed up and your mom showed up, and we started then playing. And I was kind of reading through, but we didn't have any real confusion or problems learning it. I think there was a couple questions because I hadn't got through the whole rule book yet, but we were able to get to those quickly and find them. So we got straight into the game. I'm going to give this rule book, because of the cheat sheet and everything else, I'm going to give it probably 8.5.
Okay, cool. All right, so moving on to the actual gameplay. So I love the round tracker. So at the bottom, they have the rounds, so you mark off the round, say if you're on level 1. Then it tells you to get your energy. So then you look at your energy production, which is up here. So right at the end of the game, I got 7. So I move up my track up to 7, okay?
That's assuming you had used all of your energy from the previous round.
Correct. So you just add the energy, and then the dice pool. So you can save 2 dice at the end of your turn, so you'll have what you have left over. But if you're starting the game, you'll start with 3 dice. But in this case, I've earned up to 4. So I'm going to take those 4 dice, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm going to, again, you don't need to roll them. I just felt like I should. And then the next thing is you're going to get 1 tech. So each of this particular one is about the tech. So you're going to pick which track you want to go up to and mark off a tech. You get victory points for going up each of the tech tracks, but you also get special abilities at these different lock sections. And when you do that, you get those abilities. So now I mark off the tech. Now I'm going into repairs, and that is where I actually use my dice and my energy. So I only have 4 dice here. I can use 2 of these to mark off. So like this one needs a purple and a red. I can use that here. So I can take my pencil, mark it off. I get a engine icon and a fuel. So I'll mark off the fuel, mark off the engine. But when I do mark off the engine, it's telling me to get another fuel. So I'll fill in another fuel. That gives me an electric. And then I move up on the electricity track.
So there's a lot of that bouncing around kind of comboing that happens in this
Correct.
game.
Now I have 2 dice. I don't actually have anywhere to actually use this 2 dice. So I'm going to, but I have plenty of energy. So I'm actually going to spend some of this energy here. So I have 8 energy. I'm going to spend 4 energy, and that will give me 2 dice. So I'm going to come in here. I'm going to pick 2 dice. Okay. I still can't do anything because I really need a yellow. There is some other actions I can take, but I do want to finish out this area because they give me victory points. So when you complete a colored area, you will get victory points based on that. So sometimes you kind of want to synergize your dice to hopefully fill out these sections.
There is something you can do, because you can spend 2 energy to change the color of a die to any color you want it to be.
Absolutely, and that is up there on your cheat sheet as well. You can spend 2 energy to actually get a die or change the face of a die. And then the other thing I can also do is I can pay to, well, there's different captain abilities based on a startup mechanism.
Yeah, I really like that startup mechanism, because you start the game, you draw 2 dice out of here, as long as they're different colors. And then you get to choose 1 die that is going to determine what your captain skill is, but the other die is going to be used to determine which of the tech upgrade tracks you get to advance. And if you get red, green, or yellow, you get to move 2 spots up a track. Or if you get the blue, because there isn't a tech track associated with that, you go up 1 on all 3 tracks. So you get technically an extra box, but you are sacrificing that you don't start with unlocking something at the beginning.
I'm spending 2 more to get another dice. I'm hoping for a better pull. I'm really hoping for a yellow.
You
Yay, I got a yellow. Okay. So, But yeah, so that's basically the whole game. Is you end up spinning dice, completing or doing repairs. Now, after you do all the repairs, say if I have these 2 left over, I can save those for next round. Then I'll mark off the repair section, and then I was supposed to have it this way. And then, knowing that I'm done, I'm going to go here. When everyone has the green check mark, you're going to end up putting the used dice back in the bag. Do not do that until everyone is done. And then you'll flip your sign back over.
And you're ready to start for the next round.
You're ready to start for the next round. Pretty straightforward, but definitely a lot of strategy about, okay, how do I pay the 2 energy to get a dice and hopefully I get the right dice, or do I spend that 2 energy to ensure that I get the die, changing the die face to make sure I get the die I need. So overall, I really, really enjoyed it. I thought it was a lot of fun. Try to maximize how to use those dice in the best way, because production doesn't give you any victory points, but you need production hopefully to get more resources throughout the game. And when do you shift? And making sure that you actually get a variety, because you get a lot of points for completing different colored sections, the first color of a section. So that's super helpful as well. I like it a lot. I'll give this an 8.25. I like it.
So yeah, I mean, this still doesn't top Hadrian's Wall for me.
No, it does not.
Number 2 has always been the Three Sisters game, and that series that is done. Three Sisters being probably the best of that series that came out. But I actually think I like this one better than Three Sisters. Just mostly because of the theme, but the fact is there's a nice comboing system with this. It's easy to teach. Three Sisters is a little more complex to try to teach it and learn it. This one is very easy to learn. That's why I don't understand the 14 and up. I don't think it requires that. Especially if you've got a child that was 10, maybe like Sarah, who has played roll and writes before. Sarah could probably play this game if as long as she has some frame of reference to how a roll and write or a flip and write or any of those and writes work.
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing is trying to keep track of the balancing. Maybe that's what they were concerned about. Is with younger players, they would have a harder time managing the.
You may have to help them through the first game or 2, and then after that, I think.
But it's not crazy hard.
Yeah.
You have dice colors. You're trying to fill in the blocks that have the dice. You use the dice, right? So. Yeah. What's your score?
I am probably, I think Hadrian's Wall, I think I've given a 9 to a 10, somewhere in there. For the Three Sisters, I'm probably right at about 8.5. That's probably where I'll go ahead and put it at 8.5 as well. But I would probably give this one the edge on that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining us. We had an absolute blast, and hopefully you'll come hang out with us again. We'll catch you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.